A lot of women nowadays say they want a guy who's a sugar daddy.
I got a sugar daddy.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reacting to a video titled Independent Women and Biology. Shoutouts to It's Complicated channel. I apologize for not reacting to this video. I don't know if it's this video specifically, but he wanted me to react to a video, and that was a few months ago. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get right into it, guys. So here we go. All right, guys, make sure you don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, show your support to the channel. So here we go.
At the beginning of ancient times, you know, men were set to provide and protect. Women were set to bear the children and take care of the household. So in modern day, I mean, when it comes to women, you have to just understand that they want a guy that could take care of them. Just the way it is.
A lot of women complain about being objectified sexually, right? But do you think that women objectify men financially and do the same thing?
Hell yeah.
So how is that different than like just a loose? How's that not prostitution in a way?
Oh, because let me think.
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, let me just say, I'm a preacher's kid, and as a kid, your daddy tell you, like, when my daddy always tell me, if he can't afford to take you out for a steak dinner, he ain't the man for you. Y'all put that shit in our head since forever. When men take their daughters to get their nails done and they pedicures, they take them on like daddy-daughter dates. First thing they say is, I want to teach her how a man should treat her.
Exactly.
So, how is that prostitution? Since I was a little
It's
girl,
only
you've been teaching me that a man should court me and date me a certain kind of way. I should.
I feel like,
certain caliber of man.
of course, I feel like it's only prostitution if we make a deal like, oh, it's $400 to fuck me. No,
Exactly.
If I'm telling you, oh, you have to do this, then the third, that's because I came from a household where my daddy did it. So when my daddy passed me on to the next man, that means you could take care of me.
Prostitution is when you put it on the ground and I put it there.
There is something that they mentioned too about like how they're treated when they were young. I understand that because when you're young, especially as a young girl, like you're kind of, it's like the princess, like upbringing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you're perfect, like you're beautiful and you're just kind of always talked up, right? So when someone tries to come at you being like, oh, you're not like, you need to do more kind of thing, like you need to look better, you're not that, you know what I mean? Then it's just like, oh, all these years everyone's been telling me I'm perfect, so you're not the right guy for me, so I'm gonna move on. That's usually what it is. Or like in this instance, she's saying, if you can't afford to pay a dinner for me, then you're not good enough for me and I'm gonna go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Not the right mentality, honestly, because he can still be a great guy. Maybe, you know, like he just doesn't want to spend like $100, $200 on a dinner for you just yet until he gets to know you. So yeah, I don't think they should be that judgy about that.
Yeah, because if he was a good person, he had a 9-to-5 job, he paid his taxes on time, he was a law-abiding citizen, like that doesn't matter. And
you go on a coffee date for the first date. Yeah. Like it should not disqualify him, you know? So maybe obviously as like the relationship progresses and you guys actually are vibing and you're, you know what I mean? It's going well, then maybe he can invest a little bit more money in you and you guys can invest in each other a little bit, you know? But anyway.
Yeah, but the reality is men today are judged by their wallets while women are judged by their beauty. But let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what else they have to say.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm glad we clear that up.
Okay.
Now my question is, okay, a lot of women nowadays say they want a guy who's a sugar daddy.
I got a sugar daddy.
Do you think it's hypocritical for parents to advise their sons to avoid gold diggers, but advise their daughters to find a man who will know how to take care of them? Do you think that's fair advice?
Should be independent, whether it's a female or a boy. A daughter or a son, you should teach your kids how to be independent.
For the women who say, like, you know, I'm a strong, independent woman, right? If women are so strong and independent, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
Because it's all a facade. It's not real. I mean, look, you can sit there and act like you're the most confident, independent person in the world, but if your parents are still picking up your tab for college, your apartment, your car payment, your insurance, are you really an independent, strong woman? Probably not.
So, in your opinion, what is the difference between a man who spoils his woman and a man who's whipped?
Oh, whipped? Okay, so you can spoil your woman and have that respect level, have that aggression. Like, I've been spoiled by a man and it's like, you know, he kind of got me in check a little bit. Like, I know what I can and cannot say to him. I know I can't run over him. He has that respect level. Whip boozing just like, bitch.
So Brandon is whipped.
Brendan is definitely
I
whipped.
have a boyfriend that's whipped. He let me do what I do, have sugar daddies, but
This freaking girl, man. So she has a sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy.
And she has a boyfriend.
And she has a boyfriend.
And she's over here talking about how women aren't actually being prostituted for all this
Right.
stuff.
She literally has a whole boyfriend.
Just wanted to make sure.
And I'm assuming she's giving it up. If you're a sugar baby, I mean, there's some sugar babies that go on dates and they don't really touch the sugar daddy.
Uh-huh.
But typically speaking, there's some sort of physical contact. So it's just messy.
This is incredible. I can't even go. And also, I also do have an opinion about what the other girl said, is that how she was just like, oh, I know when he's gonna put me in check, when I need to be put in check or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, first of all, put yourself in check a little bit first. Think before you say. He shouldn't have to check you all the time. Like, if you're saying something off the wall or rude, like, he shouldn't have to do that. You should have that, like, you know, filter for yourself a little bit too. But
Yeah, but this is why the man should be the head in the situation, or the guy kind of leading the dynamic. Because if you leave a woman to her own devices, she's going to self-destruct. So that man...
I never understood that.
Well, I mean, they go off of emotion, right? Men usually go off of logic, right? It's like me, for example. I work, 80 hours a week. I'm tired. I want to give up, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to chill and just watch Netflix, but that's the emotion in me. But the logic in me is like, I got to work, I got to provide, I want to be the best that I could be, right? So the logic overrides the emotion. So that's what it means by, if you leave a woman to her own devices, she's going to self-destruct, because the emotion is going to override majority of her logic. So that man putting her in check is basically putting her emotions in check and putting the logic over the emotion.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what else they have to say.
spoiled is
Spoiled.
I can still be you take care of me, but
Yeah.
I would never disrespect him.
Yeah, because you know your ass might get cut out.
Why is it okay for some women to expect a man to still do traditional manly things like fix stuff and pay bills, protect, provide, but the minute he expects her to cook and clean traditional woman things, that's seen as sexist?
I think that's one of those things that also just depends on the particular parties involved. I mean, obviously the way that you grew up or what you saw in your household growing up is going to determine whether you see that as something that's normal or taboo, you know what I mean? So if you, say you were raised by two moms and then you marry a dude who expects you to freaking cook and clean and do all this stuff all the time, they probably were trying to make you, a strong, independent woman because you didn't have that necessarily like father figure in your life. So I think it really just depends on the circumstances that you grew up in.
If there was one thing that you wish more women understood about men, what would that be?
To be honest, that we want just more than one of you. Like, we can't be confined, and it's just, we're going to keep circling right back around trying to do the same concepts of monogamy. I don't really believe in monogamy. I feel like men are naturally polygamous, and that's why it doesn't work. And just, you try to tie us down into a domestic relationship, and we act like that's what we want, and that's what we're satisfied, and we have to play it.
All right, what are your thoughts on that?
Funny.
Because I know you kind of disagree when Kevin mentions, high value man having options, exercising options. Like, what are your thoughts on what he said?
Well, obviously, you already know I disagree. But obviously, it doesn't. Okay, even though I disagree, I'm not naive to the fact that is, if that is the reality for guys, it's like they want options, and that's just what it is. You can't really argue it. Then that's fine. I'm not gonna think like every guy's gonna be like that though. Do you know what I mean? Because some guys are like him, where he's just like, I just want all the picks in the world and I don't want to have to settle down or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But there are some other guys who are like, I want to build a family and I want to have a strong family unit and, and raise the next generation and actually think more family wise.
Yeah.
He just sounds like he's just out for a good time. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I wouldn't even think about being with someone like this. This is why I also love being with you, because like we have more of a family dynamic like mindset.
Yeah.
So that's just me. This is just what I like. There are going to be girls that are okay with, you know, as long as you're making money and you can pay for them, you can do whatever you want, sleep with whatever girls. There are girls like that. But personally for me, there are girls like me who are more traditional mindseted, where they're like, I just want myself and my husband and the kids and everything be, you know, chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway is most men today, they don't get any action. And more than ever, there's more virgins under the age of 30. I think the number has jumped 10 or 15% over the past 10 years.
Okay.
So for a man to crawl and fight and scratch his way to $100,000, and now he has the option of multiple women, now it's like, holy crap, like I had to, you know, fight for 20 years just to get to where I am now. Why the hell would I settle with just one woman now that I've built myself up? So for me, like I've been getting girls, right? Like I've been getting girls since I was 14, 15. So I never had an issue getting girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fast forward now, when I'm in my mid 30s, it's kind of like I'm over it, right? So it's kind of interesting because I've experienced that younger, while majority of guys are experiencing that later. So that's why, you know, this high value man and, you know, him exercising options, that's where that kicks in, because majority of men don't have options until they get later on in life.
Yeah.
But let's go.
Wait, I have one last thing I want to ask though, just out of my own curiosity. Okay, so let's say you're young and you're cute, like you're a man, right? And you're a good-looking guy, you know, you're athletic built, whatever, and you're attractive guy, right? And you're young. Let's say you're 18, 20, whatever. So, and you have all these options, and you're like, okay, years go by, I keep getting all these girls. It's not a problem for me. I don't have to have $1 million, but I'm still getting girls. So cool. Now your mindset shifts when you're in your 30s. So my question is that like if you get it over with when you're younger, then would more guys not have that same mindset of like, oh, I just want to be out and about for the rest of my life? Like, does that make sense?
No, I hear what you're saying, but the thing is, for him he has to have game and he has to have money. And the older a woman gets, the more her priorities change. So for example, when you're in high school, your priorities may be, you know, just to party, have a good time, and just chill, right? As you get older, you start to look for men with money. Maybe you start to get into fashion. Maybe you want to live in a nice area. So a girl that's, let's say 21, 22 is now looking to live in a nice condo. She's looking to, you know, wear the best clothing and things of that nature.
Okay.
And if you compare a 22-year-old woman that's thinking like that with a 22-year-old guy, he doesn't have the resources to facilitate that life. So even though he's a good-looking guy, he could be a muscular guy in shape, but because he doesn't have the total package with the finances to facilitate her desire, she's going to overlook that guy, and she's going to go towards the top 10% of the population of guys. And usually those guys are a little older because they have done trial and error to make money. And men start to make money in their 30s, right? So that 22, 23-year-old is going to gravitate towards an older guy.
Okay.
So those younger guys aren't going to get any play.
Yeah.
Meaning they're not going to have any sex. Meaning they're not going to have experiences. Meaning they have to build themselves up.
Okay.
And then when they finally build themselves up, only then do they have the abundance of having multiple women. So that's what, you know, Kevin and Fresh and Fit and those guys are saying is, for a guy to build himself up, it's trial and error. You know, it takes years to do so. So why would I just settle with one?
I get that.
Versus a woman, you're just born with value, right? Because you're just born beautiful.
I mean, if you're born cute, then yeah, you're born with value. But if you're not born cute, then I guess then it sucks for her too.
Yeah, but you girls have these corsets and operations and surgeries and makeup. You know what I mean? Like you could be anything.
Okay.
You can draw on a face tomorrow.
True. Okay,
you know what I mean?
makeup.
So
yeah.
you guys have so many advantages to increase your value versus a guy. It's just money.
Yeah.
especially in today's society. So.
Yeah, I understand.
But anyways.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted. It was just curiosity.
Let's go ahead and continue.
Cat and mouse dance and lie and tell you, but secretly when you walk away, oh, we're looking over here and over there. Then we end up getting in trouble, and then we end up losing our women, and that's why divorce rate is so high, I believe.
Why do you think that there are some men who struggle with commitment?
Because they're broke as fuck, and they're lame as fuck, and they're gay as fuck. Next question.
What was surprising to you, something that you learned about men in your experiences? Just dealing with men, dating, relationships?
There's no such thing as a loyal man. Every man cheats.
So do you think that men are only as loyal as their options?
Yep. Yeah, bacon.
Do you think that people are just only as loyal as their options, including women as well?
Yep.
I think so too, yeah. Men are biologically disgusting and they're biologically liars. It takes the right woman to come into their lives and mold their bitch asses.
Oh no, even when the right woman come into their life, they still cheat. Because they're dumb as fuck, okay?
Wait until they know they about to lose that one and
they want to crash shit.
Don't
cry
Do you
now,
think?
bitch
Okay,
ass
tell me this.
nigga.
Do you think you were talking about cheating, right? When somebody cheats on their lover, right? Do you typically blame the one who cheats or the one who drove the other one to cheat?
At the same time, it takes two. You feel me? So you obviously doing something that made me cheat. I ain't gonna cheat with the bottom of the barrel. I'm gonna cheat on somebody that's better than you.
Why didn't you just leave? Nobody can make you cheat.
You right.
Who do you think kind of sets the rules in relationships? You know, the boundaries.
It depends on the kind of relationship.
Do you think it's true that the one who loves the other one less is the one who has the control in a relationship?
I never thought about that. I don't think so, but sometimes kinda.
Sometimes kind of? Okay.
Yeah. But like
Interesting.
toxic, but
What are the characteristics of a toxic person?
someone who makes you feel guilty or bad about things that you shouldn't feel bad about.
A lot of guys are just more thirstier than females are. Females will rather seek out their options, and they have a lot of options. So they piggyback off of different guys. It's just the truth, man. I've seen it myself.
Okay. And doesn't having more options in dating give women the privilege of being more picky?
Hell, half the time they don't even have to be picky. But the options give them an opportunity to see exactly what they want and to fill their needs at that time. So if they have more
All right, so what are your thoughts on that? The more options you have, the more picky you get.
Well, yeah, because if I have 10 different options available to me, that means I'm like, all right, now I have to kind of like filter out, all right, what do I really want now? Because if I only have 2 options, I don't really have much choice, right?
Right.
So, yeah, just makes sense.
Right, and the more options women have, the more they're going to lean towards the guy making majority of the money. That's why... Well, not for you. We already established you're an anomaly, but majority of women, if they have 10 guys, they're going to lean towards the guy that's making a majority of the money.
Okay.
Right? Meaning the other guys, despite them being great guys, are not going to get any action.
But that doesn't make sense, though, because it's like, all right, if you choose out of the 10 guys, there's like one that makes the most out of all of them, right? But has the trashiest personality. And is it like, you know what I mean? Why would I choose that guy? I would rather balance it out, being like, okay, I'd rather someone that makes, let's say, $50K, who has a great personality, who has, like, who can treat me well, and, you know what I mean? Who have similar values that are in line with me. Like, there's more on my checklist then, I guess, than just having money as, like, the main thing. Yeah. Money is there, but it's not my top thing that I look for. Right. I look for character, I guess. But.
Well, I mean, that's how it should be, but majority of women don't think that way.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, they'll take a toxic guy
who makes money
versus a nice guy who makes $50,000.
That's so bad, though. Like,
that's modern dating, right? That's what it is. But let's go ahead and continue.
Options, they're able to fulfill their needs a lot faster.
Do you think women are biologically driven to seek out the highest value man they can attract, specifically the best protector and provider?
Yes.
So that's biological, that's in their DNA, right?
Right, that's every woman is like that. Every woman, it's in their DNA. Every woman wants the best option she could possibly find. Physically, society has made us think that the dad bod is a thing. No, girls like guys with abs, guys with nice bodies, it's all propaganda. So they want the best option they could possibly find, the most money, whatever.
why wouldn't they? I mean, that's what they want. If you are seeking someone to provide, why wouldn't you want the best one to do it? So you can't be mad at women because they want a rich man, or they want the athlete, they want the strong guy, like they want the dominant.
All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end this video. We'll link the rest of the video in the description. But what are your final thoughts?
I guess, okay, I really can't sit here and be like, the dad bod is a thing. Like, okay, some girls like it, some girls don't, you know? But for the most part, like, I'm with you, right? So I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, I would go for a guy who isn't like.
So you agree that a majority of women want a superior guy?
I think it's part of it. That's what I would say. So like, part of the reason why I'm attracted to you is I'm physically attracted to you as well, right? So I can't sit here and lie and be like, that didn't have a part to play in the attraction of your physical, you know what I mean? Sorry. I don't know what to say. Like, not to say it's bad for guys who have dad bods, but I'm just saying most girls do like a guy who's in shape.
Right, and this is why men should get into shape and work on their finances and get their mind right, because it's going to put them in a scenario to get the best woman. And if it's fair or not fair, I mean, that's a whole different debate, but that's just what it is. And you got to play the game, right? And that's the modern dating world for all these single guys.
Yeah.
But
I think that's it for my points, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you? You're good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, so we're going to go ahead and end this video. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.
Bye, guys.